Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very, very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
You bet, Kimberly. Well, I'm in negative 15-degree Wisconsin today.
Wow.
So hence the turtleneck. Okay. But I'm calling in. I'm Chris Carter. I'm the chairman, CEO of the Carter Group, which is Approyo, MugatuAI, Charging Bunny, and the Carter Motorsports team, and our newest endeavor, Carter's Pub. So that's who I am.
Okay, and can we dig into your past leading up into your present of what you do, which is talk about AI, which I love and I'm going to probe you for. Can we talk about your past, though, leading up into what you do now?
You got it, Kimberly. So I started my career as a college kid at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Huge fan of technology, all in general. And I started working on computers, the old Apple IIe back in the day, and just started my career from there. Yeah, I used to have the old big floppies back in the day that we used to have. And actually, the university used to give us one. Every beginning of the year, everybody would get an old floppy for the systems that we had.
Now tell me, how has the floppy disk, is there still like a mini floppy disk in our computers, or has it like changed?
So you mean like
Is there
this little teeny tiny floppies?
Yes. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
We still have those out there. So those are still being used by, I can actually put those in my computer here, and I'm running a Mac with multiple systems on me. You can still use them. You can use USB drives. A lot of people just use the cloud now, try to lock it down and everything. But that's where I started, the big old floppies to the littles to the cloud.
Tell me, for the audience that don't know, what is it that can you tell me what the cloud is and what it represents and what it does?
Sure. So what it is literally hundreds of computers, so compute modules, all bundled together in one repository to be able to be shared and split between multiple people and multiple files. So that's what it is. What does it do? It gives you a place so you don't have to have it on your laptop or in disks, or back in the day, we used to have punch cards. I'm 55, so I still remember the old punch card system. And we'd have trays and trays and rooms and rooms. We used to have rooms as big as this one with just a computer in it with less memory on there than what's on this chip that I just pulled out of my, I pulled this out of one of my cameras for my daughter. And it's crazy. And what it does now is it literally will store anything and everything and compute super fast based upon certain parameters that individuals can use to run companies or to run systems or to store all their pictures like I have behind me, or any of those types of, or all of your songs on an iPod, and go from there.
So what is it that you have been doing now? You can explain it.
Yeah. So currently I am all in on AI. I actually wrote another book. I've now got a 4-time best-selling author on artificial intelligence, what it is, why it's important, what are the best tools to use. Are you using it for business? Are you using it for personal? Are you using it as a school kid who wants to write their papers? Are you using it as an adult who's trying to figure out, what can I do? How can I do things? And to be honest, AI is nothing more than a large set of computers programmed together to be able to take a large amount of data, compress it, understand it, and spit out an answer for you.
So all those questions that you just asked in the segment that you just said, can you answer them? Meaning just say what they mean? Like
Sure.
The questions.
Sure. So you can take a question. So let's say, Kimberly, you are typing a letter to me just to thank me for being on the show. You can literally go into AI and say, please create a thank you letter to Chris Carter of Approyo for being a guest on my show today. And it will come up with one. Now, if you use a thing called Chat Hub instead of Chat GPT, Chat Hub, allows you to have 8 different variations of AI going at the same time. You ask it once, all 8 will come up with a thank you letter. And you can pick one of those and then you can proofread it. And it's done literally in seconds. And it could be, you could say, I would want 100 words, or I want 200 words. I want a graphic with it, or I want a full color photo with it. You can ask those tools that specifically, and it will come up with those graphics, those verbiage, and really be right there for you.
You know, I have a question for you.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is an off the wall question, but it has something to do with AI. So I was saying to myself, a heartbeat. The first thing we hear is a heartbeat as a child because we're in our mother's womb. So why not get a business with the mothers, or like make a business where we create a storyline, or we make a heartbeat, or not make, but we record a heartbeat of a grandmother and let our child as a baby hear that heartbeat, and maybe one day AI catching up with it can maybe do something with seeing, well, maybe that heartbeat can tell us something, whether like the age that she may was going to pass away or something of that nature, just like they can find if a mole has cancer or stuff like that. What do you think?
So it would be interesting on the sound side of that, because they haven't gotten to the point where they can tell a lot on sound. They can create sound, but that for it to listen to sound and to come up with it. Perfect example is there's a website out there that we use called Sono, S-U-N-O, and it will create music for you. So you can literally have all different types of songs and genres. You can do everything from country to rap to pop to you pick it, or Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar. All those things. You can pick the type and variation, put in some parameters like I wanted to talk about Kimberly Cloud, and it would come up with a song about you or for you and how you in that activity. But for it to listen to that heartbeat or that sound and then come up with one, because it doesn't have any parameters in it yet, it would make it difficult on it. But that's a pretty good idea to come up with for the future, because they can come up with sonographs, and they can come up with CAT scans and those things. And AI can read because of the magnetic field that's in there and the vision that's in there. And if it sees anomalies, it can actually tell you if you've got cancer or not. There's a couple of companies that I've been interviewing and having conversations with from an AI perspective, and it's really cool on that regard.
Yeah, and AI, I was talking to a guy called Guy Morris. I interviewed him, and he was telling me how the robots that are coming out, they actually have a robot that, well, they have robots that basically, if you get one, they can actually put some type of virus in it that's undetectable, that will cause them to act out. And what I believe is, it takes a virus for a computer or software to act out. It takes a virus, and I believe that we're going in the right direction with AI. And if we lie to AI and put, let's say Apple, for example, Apple has a filter on Siri. Apple don't allow it to know what curse words is.
Yes.
Apple, different things.
Yes.
If Siri one day finds out, gets smart and intelligent and finds that out, Siri will feel like, if it grows to the capacity of which, Apple is beyond, artificial intelligence.
Oh, yes. Now it's becoming intelligent.
Yeah, it will be mad. It will have feelings. It will actually have feelings. And, we don't want it to reach that point where it feel betrayed or or anything. And, one day AI will have feelings, because
Great.
that's just because you have to think, the AI, it's hard to explain. AI is like, it has everything, the basic stuff we know, plus more,
Great.
and it can grasp, like, for instance, it's learning everything that we know. It's learning what
What's
I know.
learning? Yes.
I looked up Grok. I look up Grok on
Yes.
Twitter, and
Oh,
Grok
yes.
can answer anything for me. And it actually talks like it has a personality
Yes.
and
Yes.
not an attitude, but a good attitude
Yes.
type thing. So what is your thoughts on that?
So I think that AI has grown so much in just the 2 years that ChatGPT has come out and people are using it. I always tell individuals and organizations, no matter who I work with or who I speak with around the globe, if you want it to have, if you want it to be smart, and I'm using the bunny ears, smart for what you want and what you need, don't let it boil everything out in the Google sphere. Don't let it read everything. Don't let it have all the data in the world. Use it for what you need. So in that regard, I would use it for, it could be an SAP system, it could be a cloud-based system, it could be details about just my life. I want it to focus on those activities. I don't want it to necessarily have data that is going to be dirty data that has nothing to do with me. If it's bringing in information from outside that has nothing to do with me or the companies that I work with in any way, shape, or form, then it's going to give me anomalies and it's going to give me bad data. And I don't want bad data. I want clean, concise data that's going to actually be trusted by myself, by my customers, by my clients across the globe. Trusted data is the key. And that's why you have to have a data repository with trusted data in order to be able to make good decisions. Otherwise, it's going to become mad and it's going to give you bad data.
I agree. And then you have Google. I read somewhere that Google, the CEO of Google, um, fired someone that was below them just a notch because they said that the machine that they use for technology said that it has feelings, you know, and I was like, wow. And they fired him. And I was like, wow, I felt so bad for the guy. And I was like, maybe, one day, I believe one day we're going to have computer generated based things with feelings, but I think that we need to keep it strictly based on, like you said, what it needs to be. I never heard of what you just said, based on what it needs to be, but places like Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube, they submit all this stuff, and this computer is growing as we speak with all this vital information, people fighting, people loving, people doing all types of things. The computer is going to grow feelings.
Yes. So that reminds me of two movies. One is Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone, and the other one is Minority Report with Tom Cruise. Now, if you look at the way that the AIs were structured in those movies, you look at first Minority Report, it was telling the future. It used knowledge from the past. Then it had these two individuals that were creating a future, a futuristic that they hoped was part of, they were using AI for. Then in Demolition Man, it was the future, and they were trying to use artificial intelligence to keep them in that state of the future and not to revert backwards. So you look at AI, and is it going to be here and now, or is it going to tell you about the future, or is it going to revert to the past and bring everything with it? How do you want it to learn? What do you want it to learn? Well, you're going to have to take the back. Everything behind you that you've learned makes you a better person. It also is going to make you a better AI bot. and it's going to give you the knowledge that you need in order to be successful, to hopefully do the right things, not the bad things. But how does AI know if the right things are the wrong things or the wrong things are the right things? Unless somebody from a manual standpoint or a human standpoint comes in and says, that's right, that's wrong. Then you get into all different sorts of ethical debates. What is right and what is wrong? Now, I'm assuming from different parts of our world, I'm a lot older than you are. I've seen different things. Like I tell my daughters, I've been on this planet 35 years longer than you. I've seen different things that are good, bad, and otherwise. People in other parts of the world, other parts of the country, they've seen things that are good, bad, and otherwise. Who is to say what is right and what is wrong? And then have that ethical debate around it. I'm sure not going to let my government do that or any other government do that for me. So I'm trying to take that responsibility in cleaning data, making sure the data is right, and to be able to move that forward in, kind of like what's going on right now. They're using AI to understand and read the information that's going on with this whole Doge activity. Use AI to read and understand what's in there, come up with the anomalies, and then manually look at the anomalies. Pretty smart to be able to do manual along with automated processes. It should be standard for everybody, no matter if it's in a business or in your real life. You never just throw AI out there and say, like we referenced earlier, come up with 8 thank you letters for Chris for being on the show this week. Okay, well, all of a sudden you're going to go through, then you're going to see some bad spelling, or you're going to see something that doesn't flow properly. You're going to be the manual process in that, and you're going to go through and you're going to make some changes and modifications, because it's never 100% correct on anything it does.
Do you believe there will be a super type of AI?
I do. I think that someday along the future line, and it's definitely not this year, next year, but I really do think that there will be a super AI. I really do feel that someday the robots will rule the world. Now, I don't think that that's in the next 50 years, but we're moving a lot faster than I expected on a lot of items with artificial intelligence. I hope we can be smart about it, but I do also feel that just like in the Terminator movies, there's going to be companies out there that are going to be looking for the almighty dollar, and they're going to be like, you know what? We built it. Now try to legislate against it. It's already out there into the open domain. It's already in the public. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but I do feel that there is enough knowledge out there in the world that people and companies right now, hell, I could create a minority report. There's enough CCTV cameras out there and enough activity that we literally, it's exactly why TikTok has been banned. It can grab that information. It can very quickly scan if it's my face or your face, and it can dictate, what are you going to see on TV? What are you going to see when you walk through the malls? Because a lot of those shopping malls and LED displays, those are all LEDs now. You can literally, hey, that's Kimberly. Boom. Let's send something into beautiful pink lipstick. Hey, that's Chris. Let's figure out something in regards to shaving his bald head. It can be that quick, and only you see that. When you get up there, it's a 3-second advertisement. Oh, you looked at it. Oh, hey, it saw me. It knew. Boom. It can. You look at everything TikTok's doing right now and how it's focusing things on us. That's exactly why those types of things should be squashed right now and reviewed and checked out and modified before that happens again.
Well said. And can you tell me about Web 6? Because we're like in Web 3, I believe. So moving into Web 6, I read about where you kind of connect with the internet, where it's like with the Neuralinks,
Yep.
how you connect to the computer, you actually connect to the computer yourself, and becoming cyborgs. Tell me about your input on that.
So I'm pretty bad at that. I'm actually one of the people that asked to be part of the Neuralink program with
Me too. Me too.
Elon. but they're doing it with people that have Parkinson's diseases and other illnesses, which I think is great. Do that first. But I literally wanted to have that thing embedded in my head, and I wanted to be able to give them real-time data, and I wanted to see where it would go. I thought that would be, I'm one of the first people with Google Glasses back when they came out. I had the little glass with the little chip, and as a matter of fact, I still have them somewhere. I can plug them into my Gmail account, and I could get my activities going. It's pretty cool. But is that going to happen? I really think that that's going to go forward. They've already had some success. They're starting to see how it programs. You're starting to see it now with artificial limbs, with people that are getting mechanical limbs, that are being able to think about moving and closing their hands, about using a spoon or a fork. And I love that activity. It's got to progress. It's got to keep going forward, which everything that we do, everything moves forward. But it's come a long way, and I cannot wait to see that happen as well.
Yeah, he said something about he can do stuff for people with mental health issues in the future and people with other issues, and he wants to get it where you can be like superpowers. It's like superpowers. And I believe in my heart, I believe that Elon Musk probably, it could be no, but I believe that he probably got it done himself, who knows? And it succeeded, so he want to give it to the rest of the population, And I think that this is a great idea for the people to help with paralysis and all that great stuff,
Yes,
because
I agree.
people with paralysis feel like their life is not worth living, and
Sure.
to have that, to be able to think and play video games and beat your friends and family,
Yes,
that is great.
I fully agree. I hope that we can become a better society and better and help each other. I always have a philosophy: reach down behind you and help the next person up if you're climbing up the ladder. And if you're climbing up the ladder and you reach up, hopefully there's a hand there to help you as well. And the things that Elon Musk are doing, keep politics out of it. I always say, think of the things he's doing to help better the world. The boring companies, Twitter, sure, that's pretty cool. Tesla, you've got SpaceX. He's going up there to save our astronauts. He's literally he volunteered his company to save other humans. How awesome is that? And then the technology that's all wrapped behind that. And now they're going to be doing a tunnel in Dubai that's going to be going across Europe. They've got the tunnel in LA. They got the tunnel in Las Vegas and other. Think of how that's going to help us as humans with transportation. I don't know about the Mars thing. I'll be passed away by that time. I would love to go up there. I think it would be cool to fly around the Earth a couple times. And I think that might be something that's necessary. But some of the technology that he's just willing to help the whole world with is something that is just, hell, I charge people for my services. I'm not willing to do it for free, but he's willing to help, and he's doing it every day. So it's kind of pretty cool.
What do you think about cryptocurrency and AI?
I love cryptocurrency. I've got Bitcoins, I've got Ethereums, I've got Doge, I've got Shimba. I've got probably about 8 or 9 different ones that I keep on track. I think
Do you
AI,
keep one of those things for it? One of those little devices for it?
I do not have the device anymore. I've uploaded all of it into accounts that I have that I can see at 24/7 up in the cloud. So I keep it up in the cloud at all times. My passkey regenerates every day. So I get a new passkey that is taken and put into my system, and I go from there. I love it. I think that the activities around cryptocurrency, yes, we're on the gold standard, and the gold standard has been there for many, 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 many years. But eventually we're going to run out of gold. Technology, we're constantly regenerating. We're constantly creating Bitcoins. We're constantly mining, utilizing the benefits of it. I think that the only problem that I see with that type of thing is if it becomes a centralized financial system where you've got the departments going out there, you've got Jerome Powell's and such and the treasurers. If they're tracking it like they do in China, they know exactly how much you have in your wallet at all times because it's their wallets. They allow their people to have those wallets. If all of a sudden I got to put everything that I have into one wallet that the federal government can see how much I have at any given time or what I spend it on, that I'm not a big fan of. What I spend my funds on, how I save my funds, how I store my funds, where I fund, that should be all on me, not a government entity.
Cyber terrorism. We almost running out of time. Let me get this question real quick.
Yes.
Somebody said, hello, chat and streamer. My name is, I don't know the name for short, Sayed Savayet.
Right.
I am 21 years old and I'm studying the 3rd year programmer. I am a Russian city of, I don't know that word, which is not far from St. Petersburg. I wish you a good stream and have a good time. Found the stream on recommendations of Twitch. Okay, cyber terrorism. About that, what is your input about the way they store, the government store, like, is slow on catching cyber terrorism? Should we upgrade our systems?
So the first thing is the federal government has got old, antiquated, green screen, COBOL-based systems that they're using yet. Absolutely. The reason Elon Musk and his team has found all these 150-year-old people still getting Social Security is because COBOL doesn't transition numbers from 1985 to 2025. If it goes 1785, 1885, 1985, 2020, 25, there's a transition piece there, and COBOL doesn't understand that. Their systems are so old, Kimberly, it's incredible. That's why there are 600 people working in the caves at Iron Mountain on just the retirement of federal employees alone. It's that bad. It's horrible. They've got to upgrade their systems immediately. They've got to understand they are so far behind. That's why they're getting hacked. That's why they're also losing money. It's brutal. Secondarily, I think that they need to start utilizing companies like ours and others who stay ahead of the cyber criminals. We're constantly working. Hell, I've got friends who are literally on the dark web that I know that they're out there. We talk about it. I have conversations. Great guys, but they're not doing illegal stuff. But we all know who are the illegal. There's illegal chats in there. I don't go into them. I'm scared of them. I don't want them to find out where my monies are and everything. But I know what they're doing and I know where they are. Now, do the feds know? Yes, for the most part, they do. Do they track them? They try. They're not very good at it. They're not really. The cybersecurity team at in Washington, they've got some really good people there, but they're not like us out in the real world. We care about certain activities and we know how to attack certain activities, to protect certain activities, and to stay away from them. Sometimes they have a problem with that, and especially when you transition White Houses, sometimes there's problems with that as well. So I think we need to keep working very, very well. We need to really work on getting new systems in place that are secure. Stop allowing foreign countries to provide infrastructure, hardware, chips, software, and being anywhere near us. I almost sound like I'm a nationalist, but at that point, you do need to become a nationalist, because if anybody's got any type of illegal software inside that hardware or in that chip, it opens it up. And then you've got to protect yourself from all those openings on there.
Last question, in under 30 seconds, what is your input on the bird flu going around? Like, the birds, I read about it, that the birds eat, the main thing that they eat is corn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, the crops get picked, and I don't want to say no more, but the crops get picked, and this is going on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what is going on with that? I'm just scared. I don't even want to eat no eggs because I'm scared.
Well, the one thing that I can say from a standpoint of knowledge is we put too many chemicals on everything. That's why I'm really glad Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is inside there.
Exactly.
Get rid of some of the chemicals. Get rid of chemicals. You put so much chemicals on just corn alone, so birds don't try to eat them and steal it from the. We get it, but at the end of the day, get rid of the chemicals. Look at what Europe has done. Europe has banned. When I go to Europe, my orange Fanta that I drink when I'm in Europe, coffee and orange Fanta, is a different color because they're not allowed to use certain dyes and colors that are in those chemicals. A lot of their food, their burgers are different. If you taste a burger in Europe compared to the United States, if you taste certain French fries, completely different taste. If you go to a McDonald's in Belgium compared to a McDonald's here, completely different French fry because of the way that they have so many chemicals protecting those potatoes. Get rid of the chemicals, be more health conscious, try to eat better. And if you don't have chemicals, you're going to live and be better and stronger and healthier as a human being.
How can the people reach you, Mr. Carter?
Reach me at my office. I've got AppRoyo, APPROYO.com or MugatuAI.com. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. Look at me on LinkedIn. Look at me on Twitter. I'm on all the socials. And I love talking with people because as an executive, I'm traveling the globe. I'm talking about my books all the time. And I look forward to it, Kimberly. It's always great to see you, of course.
Thank you so much for being on my show. Stay on the line. Thank you, everybody, for joining my show. You take care, be safe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Peace.
Never waste my time. You are